So with the exciting news that we just got for Classic WoW about them coming out with Wrath of the Lich King in year 2022, there is no exact date at this given time. But I started pondering the thought of what's the future? What's the future of Classic really? Is it going to go beyond Wrath of the Lich King? Or is it going to stop right there? Now, the developer team, I came across this short video from the actual interview that we had about a week ago from IGN. And they gave some pretty clear clues of what we could expect for the future of Classic. But of course, they did not come right out and say, yeah, it's going to go beyond Wrath of the Lich King. We're going to go into Cataclysm next, etc., etc. But then after watching this IGN video, I started thinking to myself, because sometimes when we first watch a live stream or videos, we don't take everything in. So I gave this another watch, and from what the developer team was saying, it was pretty clear that they feel that the future may go beyond Wrath of the Lich King. Let's give it a listen.
Hearing feedback from all the developers that work on the game about things that they like raise an eyebrow to versus things that they just think were okay or part of the content. And it's really good that we're able to take action on those things that feel like we wouldn't make that decision today. Let's make sure we're not shipping a game with something that we wouldn't have done.
I think that's a great question. I think it really gets into the heart of like that dichotomy between going on to modern World of Warcraft and trying to stay in Classic, and how like you brought up Cataclysm as a way that like as a breaking point that everybody kind of looks at. But what we're realizing right now, and what we've kind of thought about all along, is that it actually starts in Wrath of the Lich King with things like Dungeon Finder and the things like multiple raid difficulty.
All right, so right there, that to me was a big clue. He's saying that the game really started off in Wrath of the Lich King, and it sounds like to me from his enthusiasm that he would hate to see it stop there. Anyways, that's what I'm getting from it. So I definitely want to hear from you guys down below in the comments of your feelings about this. So let's continue.
Find that balancing point where we can preserve the classic feeling and still make sure that we're giving people new things to do, because it is that obviously you're going to play through it again, you're going to get to the end of it, and you're going to say like, I want more what? Well, what do we have? And so we're going to try to make sure that we find something that is satisfying to people. That
Right, see, that's the thing. Wrath of the Lich King is really when the game started giving us a lot to do, both PvP wise and PvE. In my opinion, Wrath of the Lich King had some of the best raids in all of World of Warcraft, hands down. And it's where they started adding systems to the game that just gave us that better quality of life type vibe, without going overboard like we see in modern games like Shadowlands. There's way too many systems in Shadowlands when it comes to doing combat in the game, in my opinion. So by everything that they're saying so far, I'm getting the vibe that they feel like that they just started spreading their wings now with the classic version. Let's continue.
gives them something more to do, and also feels as much as we can like Classic originally. And whether or not that's Cataclysm or something else in the future is something we have not decided today, and we definitely want to hear feedback from the community. We know we're going to Wrath of the Lich King. We know we're going to be able to do that in a way that we feel is true to the classic spirit, and we're excited to hear what people want to see next.
So that right there is another clue that they want to hear from us now, the player base. They want to see if we want to go beyond Wrath of the Lich King. And I think most classic lovers would definitely want to do that. So let's start spreading the word and letting them know. Let's continue.
This entire game has been a love letter to the fans. Ever since we decided to make classic World of Warcraft originally, it was how do we give the fans what they've been asking for and what they want? Our players are key and important to this experience. And so when we did Classic, we heard people wanted no changes. When we shipped Classic, we really focused on that. We weren't even thinking about the next step necessarily.
That to me is the big secret. If it's not broken, don't fix it. There's no reason to do a lot of changes. Hashtag no change. But there is some modern implements that they had in later on expansions which would give us maybe a benefit in the game, as long as it's not overboard, as long as it's something that we feel that's not going to change the game, where it takes away that feel of classic. So yes, hashtag no changes can be a very sensitive part of the classic games.
But almost immediately people said, we want Burning Crusade. And after we shipped Burning Crusade, people almost immediately said, Wrath. That's like such a cool expansion. Can't wait to play that. So really, we're going to continue to have our focus on Wrath and making sure that that's an amazing expansion for the players. But then we'll take that moment afterwards to pause and listen and see what players are saying, what they're thinking, and what they're feeling.
So there's the segment right there, and no, those end screens are not mine, so don't try to click on them because it won't do nothing. That's IGN's end screens. But anyways, yeah, to wrap this up, it seems like to me that they're really listening to the player base now. And we're even seeing that with the new expansion coming out called Dragonflight, because we feel that they're going back to the old way of the PvP system when it comes to that, because that's really the system that most players endured. I think Blizzard's starting to realize that trying to add too many changes with each game was not always a good thing to do. Again, if it's not broken, don't try to fix it. So there it is, folks. I just wanted to come out with a fun, different kind of video, and I really think that the game will be going beyond Wrath of the Lich King, in my opinion. Again, I'd like to hear from you guys down below. And thanks for stopping by and checking out Wise Gamer. Hey, give us a like, it doesn't cost you nothing, and it helps us with the algorithms. Also, sub up for more killer videos coming your way. And until the next time, you guys have yourself a fantastic day. Take care.